Okay.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Shakti Flow. Let's take a minute to center. So, sitting in a comfortable seat, eyes closed, take a deep breath. And as we close the eyes and take a deep breath, over and over and over again as we come to the mat, it signals our body that we're moving into presence. We're moving into deeper awareness. We're moving into stillness. And what I have noticed over the years is as I do that each time, it just takes a breath and a moment for me to drop in. And so as we drop in, become aware of what's present. You might have a busy mind, or maybe you have a fussy body. Just notice whatever is there. Remember that it's a dialogue, yes? So finding a way where we can have a conversation in a grateful and positive way. Always reminding myself and you that our cells hear everything that we say and think. So, what can we be grateful for and appreciative for this morning? Letting hands come together at the heart, holding that intention, whatever it is that you need, and allowing the class and the experience to be exactly that. Take a nice deep breath. And then as you exhale, let go of the hands, softly open the eyes. All right, so this week I was teaching class, and the three things I was asking the teacher or the students to pay attention to was their breath, their physical body, those two are easy, and then come back to your intention. I'll try to bring that through the theme. So why are you here? The cells really hear you. So when I'm here, I'm moving my body in a really intentional, good way, not just flailing around, right? So let's keep that in mind as we practice. So we're going to come to the mat on all fours to get started. We'll warm up the shoulders and we'll warm up the hips before we actually start moving too much. So knees, hips over knees, come down onto your forearms so that your elbows are more under your shoulders and your palms are out in front of you. And so as you inhale, move forward. This is a floss that I do often. It's so great for the shoulders. And then push into your hands, pull your elbows back, and move your hips toward the wall behind you. Stop when you get the initial kind of pull, and then repeat. So forward, push and pull the arms as you move backward. And what we're doing here is we're finding the sticky parts and we're gliding, sliding and gliding through the sticky parts, helping to lubricate them. So this is around the shoulder girdle, upper back, a little bit of the chest. And then we want to keep going. I want you to turn your head. So turn your head one way as you go back. So we'll get the neck involved a little bit and then come back to center and neutral and then turn your head the other way. And most of us will have a tightness on one side or the other. And we're going to do 3 on each side. So we're just moving back with the head turned, coming back to middle. Remember to push and pull your arms. That's the key component to this. You want the muscles to be activated while you're moving. That's what helps the connective tissue. And one more time the other way. Right. And then finding a place where you feel pretty comfortable here. Walk your hands together, tuck your baby finger in, and we'll do a little bit of work here. So we're going to come forward, take your chin over your hands so that you're collapsed, and then push through your hands and see if you can bring your forehead to the floor. And then come forward, chin over your hands, push, and forehead to the floor. If this feels easy, knees can come off the floor. I'm not going to do that today. You can do a full plank, moving forward and back. So we're working through the arms, through the shoulders, and a little bit through the chest. One more time. And then find your way into a shoulder over elbow posture. Take one leg and then the other leg into a plank pose. So we're taking a moment here just to see where we are. Tailbone reaches toward the heels. Lower belly draws in. Heart moves forward. And so we check in. What's our neck doing? How integrated do we feel? Can we breathe through the body, through the nose? And then finding that intention. What's going on? And then allow your hips to come to the floor. Separate your hands and bring them back behind you. Palms toward the floor here. Can you lift your chest, hands, and shoulder blades off the mat? Okay, so we're hovering, toes down. Press through your toenails, kneecaps hover off the floor. So we're really using the back body here. Take one more breath. And then as you exhale, bring your hands right by your ribs, not up by your shoulders, by your ribs. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and then push yourself up and reach back into child's pose. And we just take a moment right here. Letting your head be between your arms, checking in with your breathing, checking in with your intention. And then come to center. All right. So the second floss I want to do is for your hips. And so we're going to do them on the back. We'll get the most juice out of it that way, I think. So lying down, cross your ankle, right ankle over your left knee. Again, not an unfamiliar action. Try to keep your shoulders and neck quiet as you push your ankle into your knee. Feel the activation in the outer leg, and then lift your left foot in, and you're pulling with that activation until you get to that edge, and then you rest. Push into your knee, and then pull, and then rest. So activating the muscle, and then you're lengthening it, you're pulling on it like that taffy idea. So if you pull on taffy when it's cold, it breaks, right? It doesn't have any suppleness. But when you pull on taffy when it's warm, it's got more suppleness. And so what we're trying to do here is lubricate, hydrate, activate the connective tissue. One more time. Push into the leg. Now this time as you hold here, can you reach through and grab your left thigh? Check your shoulders that they're relaxed and draw your legs in just a little bit closer. I don't want it to be this gigantic thing. Both feet are active. Take your lower back a little bit off the floor so that you're in a neutral curve. And you might notice right away when you do that, your throat opens up. Remember your neck and the way your head sits on your neck and your palate, the roof of your mouth, all relate to the sacrum. Good. Take a breath. And then go ahead and put your foot down. Now keep your legs in this shape. Anchor your hands down. You could even hold the edges of your mat. Shoulders underneath you. I want you to push through your foot so you're lifting your hips up. Can you keep yourself parallel? Push into your arms to raise the chest up also. And we'll take 3 breaths here. Top foot is active. Bottom foot is pressing. Hips feel level. 3 breaths. And then slowly lower down. Good. And then switch your sides. So again, ankle over knee, press the ankle into the knee, and then pick up your right foot to draw the legs towards you until you feel that little stretch or that resistance. And then rest. Push, draw towards you. Now don't mistake, there's a little bit of core work going on here also. You have to use your abdominal muscles along with your legs in order to do this. Push, draw in, and down. Push, draw in. And one more time. So you're anchoring that leg. And now this time, can you reach through and grab your, whatever you're going to grab? You could grab your shin. I like to grab my right thigh, but I always have to check my shoulders because I'm just a little bit kind of strained there. And then take your lower back, kind of raise it a little bit off the floor and just notice your own throat. Press down into the floor if you want to get the opposite effect, and then go back into that neutral. So you want to feel that opening in your throat. And take one more breath here, nice healthy stretch. And then lower your right foot on the floor, anchor your arms, press into your right foot, lift your pelvis, try to keep your pelvis neutral. Push into your arms to lift your chest up more. So I want the whole back body active here. Breathing into anything that's present. Remember your breath, your physical body, and your intention. Exhale, lower down. Good. Bring your knees to your chest. Give them a little hug. All right. Now from here, knees are going to go up, feet are going to go up. We're going to do upside down Dandasana. So shoulders are on your back. This is where you can hold your mat and actually push and pull your hands apart. You can push into your hands like we were doing earlier, but you can see my legs are moving backward. I want my legs to be straight up and down. Toes are open and pulling back. Heels are reaching up to the ceiling. So I want you to push with your heels. Root down with your arms, however we're doing it. You could even do your elbows. That's a nice action also. And you're feeling some sort of integration in your upper body, not just in your hip flexors. So the way you get out of your hip flexors is you push your quads backward, you push your heels upward, and you core body engage with upper body arms. Take a breath. Now remember, if this is too much, you can soften your knees, but then you lose the legs. So see what happens, and can you find that lower back place where you feel really good? One more breath, and then lower your feet to the floor and rest. All right, turning over onto your stomach one last time. So we counterbalance that. So finding your hands down around behind you. This time, can you lift them off the floor and find your fingers? Now that's always hard, so if it feels too much, just take your hands apart, palms down. This time we're going to push the knuckles back, lifting the chest. And if you feel integrated and want to, float your feet off the floor. But remember, the feet don't need to come up high. So you're reaching back with the balls of your feet. You're breathing. We're integrating. We're using the back of our body. One more time, one more breath. And then exhale. Hands again right by your ribs, not by your shoulders. Squeeze shoulder blades together, push yourself up, and find your first downward facing dog pose. First downward facing dog pose. Let your downward facing dog pose. Remember, for the first one, I like to take my hands wider and I like to take my feet wider so that you're just giving yourself a lot more space. Soften knees if you need to. Breathe. And then slowly walk yourself to the front of your mat. Keep your feet wide apart on the edges of your mat. Turn your feet a little bit open. And we're going to drop the hips down, finding that edge here. All right, from here, take your arms forward. You're going to shift yourself backward so you're all the way in your legs. Arms are reaching out in front of you. Take a breath and then push to stand all the way up. Hands come down. Keep your feet where they are. We're going to move into another little series here. I'm going to turn so I can face you. Maybe adjust my screen so you can see my head. All right. Without weight first. Knees over ankles. Come into this goddess squat that we like to call it. And your knees are moving outward so that it activates this outer line. So we want to keep that going. Tailbone down, belly strong. Arms come up into cactus pose. Shoulders are on your back. And then from here, reach up. Now, as you reach up, if that feels like, oh gosh, I'm losing it, keep your arms in cactus. As you reach up, I want your tailbone to even go lower. So I want you to think about your whole back body getting longer while you're in this strange little spot. And then with all of that, lift your right heel and lower, lift your left heel and lower. Right heel. So remember, if your neck is involved or you're feeling it's too much, just come to cactus. Keep your core body engaged, your tailbone heavy, heavy. Heart rising. Arms are up, making it all that much harder. And we're just lifting a heel and lowering a heel, lifting a heel and lowering a heel. Let's do one more on each leg. And then come up to stand. Inhale. Release arms. And then come forward, holding your hands on your legs. Inhale, tailbone and eyes up. Exhale, round spine. Inhale, tailbone and eyes up. And rounding spine. One more time. Inhaling and exhaling. And now with your arms straight, push against your left knee to try and move it out a little and twist and look over your right shoulder. So your left arm is really pushing your left leg open. See if you can drop your hips down a little bit. And breathe. Inhale, come to center. Do the same thing on the other side. Push that knee open. Twist around, look over your opposite shoulder. The more you drop your hips, the deeper into this action you get. One more breath. And then come to center. Good. Come all the way up. Bring your feet together and pause. Alrighty, so let's pick up your weights. We're going to go right to a heavier set right away. I'm like looking at this going, what is wrong? And I didn't have a full view of you guys. I'm like looking at the nonsense on my computer. So my heavy weight today is my lightweight because I'm trying to be kind to my body. I don't need to do the hardest thing. That's my discernment of the day. So feet are turned open. We're going to go back to that squat. So knees are open just like we normally do. You can try your your heavier weight set if you want. And then bring your weights to your chest. All right, so this is a two-part movement. We're going to pull the shoulder blades together, squeeze the back so your weights will come apart, and then down. And then one weight's going to come to the floor. Come back up, stay in a little squat, squeeze, close, other weight comes to the floor. Now see how I'm pulling my hips down? I'm not really trying to lean down as much as I'm trying to drop my hips through. And everybody's a little different. So if you feel like that's just too far, I got to lean down too far, don't go all the way down. Down, back up, squeeze, close, down, back up. We'll do one more with each arm. So touch the floor, come back up, squeeze your shoulder blades, touch the floor, come back up, squeeze the shoulder blades. Great. Stand for a minute. Turn your left heel back and your right toes forward. We're going to come into a side lunge motion, or if you want to call it warrior 1 or 2. Alrighty, so we're going to come forward towards the front leg. So I want you to find your sweet spot. So like you're coming over shoulder to your knee. And then your elbow is going to rest on your leg. So simple way, put both weights in your opposite hand. And I like to turn my hand out. Keeps my shoulder open and keeps my hand out of the way. But you do what you want. Down, pull, squeeze. Down, pull, squeeze. Nice and slow. Remember, you can always adjust your weights. I doubled mine up, but remember I have lightweight. Working in the middle back, not in the neck. So the elbow drives to the wall behind you, not towards the ceiling. Last one. Press through your front leg to come up to stand. Bring your feet to square. You should have weight in one arm. Drop your weight down, keeping your body square. Curl. So we're working in the same arm, ideally with the same weight, but you can always shift it. Palm towards your shoulder. Okay, so that works the bicep a little bit more than if your palm is neutral or towards the midline. How strong do you feel? Power. All right, one more, and then we're going to challenge your power. Bend your knees a little. Use your legs to push your arm up. Come back, bend your knees a little. Push and up. Bend your knees just a little, just enough to push through your legs to power that arm. It's a force all the way through from the feet, not just from your hand. One more time. Push and then soften. Release. Alrighty, from here, toes are still forward. Soften your knee. Remember to go easy on this forward bend if your back's bothering you. Shoulders on your back, hands down to the floor, row, down. So the more you bend your knees, the less your lower back will take it. So you're a little bit squatty here. Squatty, squatty. And down. Pull. Remember, elbows facing the wall behind you. Head is parallel to your own hips, so don't drop your head down too low. One more. And then we're going to hold at the top and come to stand. Now, spin your other heel back and your other foot forward and come into the lunge on this side. Double up your weight. Lean down onto your forearm and take the weight all the way to the floor. So that pulls your shoulder a little bit out of the socket. Then from there, row back. So you incorporate your shoulder along with your back muscles. Down, pull, squeeze, down, pull, squeeze. Really think about what you're doing, intention versus intensity. Remember, I worked on that a couple weeks ago. And down and up. And one more time, we hold it on the up. Right there, come to standing. Turn your feet to square and then turn your feet in a little so that we can power this motion. So soften knees, hands down, palms forward. I've got my elbow against my body as a little bit of a lever. Go slow on the way down. Trying really hard not to just throw the weight around. And curl. We got one more. And we hold at the top here. This is where we're going to power it from the legs. So bend the knees, push through your foot, push this up over your head. Soften, push. So try to make the push come from the legs, and then it's so much easier because you've got this whole intense line coming through your whole body. One more time. And push. Good. Release. Separate your weights. Walk your feet to center. And let's set the weights down. Come to the top of your mat. Oh, and if you have blocks, keep them close to you. We're going to use them in a second. So go ahead and come to the top of your mat. Palms forward, stand in Tadasana. Root the heels, root the tail, and reach up through the crown of the head. The loop of energy I want you to think about is if you lift your toes, it lifts that front body energy up. And then when you root your heels, it roots down the back body. So there's this energetic line going. And then take your arms up over your head, Hastasana. We were doing this earlier when we were in a seated or lying down position. Take a breath here and then see, can you bend your knees and come into a baby chair with your arms still extended? So I'm trying to reach up, not reach forward. And my tailbone's trying to go back and down. And you can see I don't go very far. My Achilles is fairly tight. Take one more breath here. And then exhale, float down. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, come all the way down. And now can you grab your blocks? Are they close to you? Put them on the high side. And step your feet back so that you're like a tabletop. Hands, blocks under shoulders. Feet underneath body. Bring your feet all the way together. And lift your right leg. Toes are down. And my legs are longer than my torso. So for me to be in a neutral position, I need to come up on my fingertips. So I don't want your head below your hips. So if you're like me, you might need to double up your blocks or come up on your fingertips. Put all your weight on your standing leg, push back with your lifted leg, and see if you can take your opposite hand. So my left leg is on the floor. I'm going to take my left hand to my heart. And I'm breathing. Try not to worry about the other hand, but keep it light if you can. Toes are inward and down. Push. One more breath. And then release. Hands onto blocks. We're going to bend the knee. Bring it right behind the other leg. And then I want you to bump it and bend. And push and straighten. Knee comes behind the other knee. Bend. Up and straighten. Bend. Up and straighten. One more time. Bend. Up and straighten. Now this is a little different action. Bring your knee forward. Bring it around the other leg. And then sit down. You can come up on your fingertips. We're just here for balance. This top leg really should be wrapped around. And this is a wonderful hip stretch. You can walk your blocks forward to get your hands out in front of you more. Think about your upper body getting long and your booty getting lower. One more breath. Good. Inhale, come to stand. Feet down on the floor. Soften your knees to look forward. Bring your arms out in front of you. Come all the way to standing. And pause. All right. Check yourself out. And then we'll go the other side. So take a breath. Big inhale. Now, Hastasana, remember, tailbone, you're not tucking it, right? So you're just trying to engage this action around your middle body. And then bend your knees. Think of a chair pose, but keep your arms going straight up. So you won't go where you want to go. Don't worry about it. Take one more breath. Exhale, hands down on the blocks. Feet come together. And then take your left leg back. So the tendency is to bring the leg way up high. Try to keep it neutral, toes toward the floor. And then using myself as an example, I need to be up higher so that my foot and my head are in the same plane. Keep pressing into the standing leg. Keep reaching back with the heel of this uplifted leg. And then now take your right hand to your chest. Challenging balance, but also challenging the standing leg. The integration of the back foot lifted all the way through the whole body. Good. Fingers back to the mat or to the blocks. And now we bring the knee to the other knee. Bend the knee like you're going to sit and then stretch it back out. Bend and sit and stretch. We've got 3 more. And the more you squat down on the standing leg, the more you work it, obviously. Okay, this time bring your knee forward, wrap it around the standing leg, and then sit. So my leg is up over the top of my other knee. It's like Gomukhasana. And we're sitting low, we're trying to reach the fingers longer. So if you can move your blocks forward and get more length in your side body, that would be great. So it's a stretch for your hips, but it's also a lot of work. One more breath here. And then release, unwind. Now from here, bring your hands to the floor, move the blocks off the mat. Drop your tailbone a little bit so you bend your legs, and then inhale, stretch your heels, stretch your hips up. Press through your heels, and then release down into downward facing dog. And so remember, wider hands, slightly turned out hands helps your shoulders. Wider feet and slightly turned in feet helps your hamstrings. And you find your sweet spot here. From this place, come forward into plank. Now, I want you to go into that awareness here. So, how is your physical body? What kind of messages are you getting? So for me, maybe the message is knees down. What kind of breathing are you doing? Can you breathe through your nose? We know that when you breathe through your mouth, you push your fight or flight mechanism. And so more you can breathe through your nose, the better. And then how is your intention? Where is your intention? Did your intention change? Take one more breath. And then lower your knees if you haven't done so, and lower your body to the mat. All right, from here, hands go behind you. Interlace your fingers if you did that once before. Press your knuckles back. Now listen, we're going to keep this. We're going to keep this, and then I want you to bend your knees. Your knees are going to be wide apart, and your feet are going to touch together. And I want you to see if you can think about your feet going up to the ceiling. And you're breathing. And exhale, release. Hands on your, or head on your hands. Let your body rest here for a moment. All right, pushing yourself back to child's pose. Remember, hands by your ribs, letting your hips sink down and back. You can rest on your hands again, Or you can let your head come to the floor if you've got that range of motion. Now to help our shoulders, and you can use your strap if it feels too much on your shoulders. If I use my strap, I'll just grab it to show you. I'm going to take the strap around behind me. Shoulders roll on your back. You're going to lift your arms, and as you're lifting your arms, your head is low. And so I've got my forehead just lightly touching the mat. And I'm bringing my arms up as high as I can. Focusing on just opening up the shoulder girdle and the chest wall. And then as you release your arms, you can bring yourself back up. Alrighty. So before we get down on the floor, I want to do a little action seated. So, I'm going to bird face you. So bringing your legs up, let's bring your feet all the way together in Baddha Konasana. Holding onto your feet, knees are open. So not a hard action here, but I want you to really notice if you can lift your chest up, kind of pull your lower back forward and up. So you're creating a little arch on purpose. And I'm pulling against my arms, leaning back into an imaginary wall. So I want my spine to be as neutral as possible. Crown of the head moving to the sky, knees moving open. And pause here and breathe. And then slowly release it. Now bring your left knee up. Slide your foot forward just a little bit. Keep this leg quiet. Take your left hand to the inside of your left ankle. Take your right arm up to the sky. So this right arm, I'm going to pull a little bit with my hand, and I'm going to lift more with my hand on the sky to get me tall, and then I'm going to twist open. Hand lands behind me. So we're in what's called an open twist. I want you to use your elbow and your knee like a fulcrum, and you're going to exhale, belly turns to the right, ribs turn to the right, shoulders turn to the right, head turns to the right, and now listen, eyes turn to the right. Turn your eyes as much as you can. And keep drawing your left knee into your left arm so that you don't lose that fulcrum. Good. Take one more breath. And then as you exhale, slowly release. Now, if you happen to have super tight hamstrings, and you know you do, you could use your strap here and wrap it around your foot. And I happen to have a loop in my strap, so I can just hold the loop, right? But you can hold the strap normal, or you can hold your big toe. Turn so you can see. So we're in the same spot, right? I'm just going to hold my big toe or use my strap. I'm going to take this leg off the floor. Don't fall backwards. Sit up, sit up, sit up. And then with your back hand, turn yourself open again, and maybe this hand can reach back behind you. So you can keep your hand on the floor, or you can reach back, reach your foot forward, and what I want is your leg to be straight. So if you need the strap, use it. And then try belly turns, ribs turn. Can your eyes turn to see your backhand? So your eyes are actually moving in the socket. Foot and hand are similar in height. Take one more breath. And then as you exhale, you're going to take this top leg, you're going to bring it around, land it on the floor, and then come to sit nice and tall. Try to keep the knee to the ceiling. Adjust yourself as you need to. Sit up nice and tall. So I'm pulling and I'm sitting up as straight as I can. Nice deep breath here, and then take your left arm up. So same thing, just in the opposite direction. Turn your belly to the left and then hand to the mat. So we're in a closed twist now. Draw the knee in as you draw the belly around and look back behind you. So belly turns, just like the other side. Ribs turn, shoulders turn, head turns, and then eyes. So it's really key to turn your eyes in the socket. Helps to work those muscles. Remember, knees drawing in towards your opposite arm. So there's your fulcrum there. Take one more breath. And then exhale, let everything go. Good. Uncross everything, come back to Baddha Konasana. And we'll see how we feel. All right, so remember, I'm real short-waisted, so I can wrap my hands around the back of my feet. You might need to hold your ankles or your big toe. I want your arms straight, and I'm not asking you to pull down. I'm just asking you to sit up. Knees are towards the floor or towards the opposite wall. Heart is lifted, crown of the head is lifted. And we take a couple breaths here. When I had my week off, I didn't really do anything. I did some really simple somatic work. And I could not believe how quickly my body tightened up. It was amazing. So, goes to show you, especially as you're older, you really need to be consistent with whatever you're doing. Outside now, your right knee comes up, slide that foot forward. Take your right hand to the inside of your ankle. And if you can't reach it, just find a foot place from where you can. Take up your left arm, and you're trying to get tall here, really tall. Pull on your ankle so you sit up tall, and then twist open, hand behind you. Now this knee is going to want to help you, so let that knee relax. This leg and arm are pushing against each other. And then you take a breath, turn the belly, turn the ribs, turn the shoulder, turn the head, and then turn the eyes. And so this is the same action we're going to do in a minute with the long leg off the floor. Can you stay up on your sit bones? Can you keep this knee pressing into the arm? Can you turn and see behind you? One more breath. And then let it go. And then the same thing happens on this side. Use your strap or grab your big toe, whichever you can hold, and see where this leg will go. So remember, I want the leg straight. So if you can't hold your big toe, grab the strap. It's okay. This leg stays down. We're going to turn the body, and we're going to reach back and look behind us. Sit straight up. Remember, you can use your hand on the floor behind you if you need to. And you're pushing into your foot, turning the belly, turning the heart, turning the eyes. Good. Take one more nice deep breath. And then as you exhale, put your back hand on the floor, take this foot, bring it all the way around to the outside of your other foot. And don't let this knee drop open, keep it up, and see if you can't sit up. That's the hardest part, right? So foot down, big toe anchors, big toe anchors. Hold on to your legs, sit up nice and straight. And then now take your right arm to the ceiling. Try to imagine right sit bone down, right arm lengthening, and then with your hand, turn into a closed twist, hand comes behind you. Now the belly turns again, this time to the right. Ribs turn to the right, shoulder turns to the right, eyes and head turn to the right. Can you keep your big toe of your right foot down? And on this, this is different than somatics. We're really working on that edge, that discernment, that sweet spot. Can you breathe through your nose? Can you feel the body working, but in a really good, positive way? Can you keep your intention in your heart? One more breath. And then let it all go. All righty. Uncross. Find the length of your mat. You're going to need your weights near you. So have them close by. And you're going to need your strap close by. Arms out in front of you. Sit up really tall. And then as you exhale, start to roll towards the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae. See where your sort of weak spot is, and then hang there for a second before you come all the way down. Once you're down, arms reach up, feet reach away, heels push away. Really engage your legs, palms facing each other. And then let your arms relax, let your legs relax. All right, so grab your weights. Now we're going to work triceps mostly and chest. So many of us can use a heavier set for this. Knees are bent here just so that you can keep your back happy. Remember to find that sweet spot where your lower back isn't flat on the floor. That's really a bad cue. Or it's just not randomly arched away from the back body. So you want to have some integration here. And then take your weights so they touch right at your chest. They're very similar to what we were doing before when we were standing and working on the back. So we're going to push straight up and then bend the elbows so that the weights come somewhere near our top of our head, and push and then come back down. So we're going to move into a wide arm chest motion next. So you could use a heavier weight here because this is a closed motion. And we're just finding our way through this action, keeping the elbows lined up with the shoulders. And we're just feeling into the back of the arm and the shoulders here. Nice way to work the shoulders and the chest and the arms without standing. Okay, now if you want to transition to a lighter weight, here's where you're going to do it. One arm at a time moves away from the body and comes back up to center. You hold one arm steady while the other arm works. And try to make it as smooth as you can, keeping the 4 points of the torso, the 2 hips and the 2 shoulders still. Doing one arm at a time, I like because it helps to challenge our obliques. Because the obliques are what's holding us in place while that teaser of weight gets away from us. And you might pay attention to what side feels more integrated. We're working from the inner arm through the shoulder, diagonally across to the opposite inner hip. So what side feels a little stronger? And we'll do one more on the other arm and then we'll call it even. And then slowly release your arms down to the floor. Let go of your weights. And then taking your right leg over your left. So we did this a couple times already. This is that Gomukhasana leg. And take your hands behind or on top of your head, like you're holding the crown of your head. Elbows are close together. So this is going to help your neck. So I don't want you to strain your neck. As you exhale, I want you to lift your shoulders. So your elbows are right in front of you. Take a breath. Exhale, lift your knees. And then lower all together. Exhale, lift your shoulders. Lift your knees. Inhale, come back together. Exhale, lift your shoulders, nice and slow. Lift your knees, second. And come together. We're going to do 2 more. Exhale, elbows, shoulders lift, then knees and feet. And down. Last one. Exhale, elbows up and knees and feet. And down. Good. Release your arms for a minute. Switch your legs out. Take a moment just to make sure you're in good alignment, and then hands go back to the top of your head. Same thing on this side. Exhale, lift elbows and shoulders, then lift knees and feet. Inhale, go down. Exhale, elbows, shoulders, knees and feet, and go down. So what's interesting about doing this on a bilateral way is you can see what side feels a little bit looser, has more range of motion, maybe feels more integrated. Last one. Exhale, pull, and down. Take your arms open into cactus if they'll go. Feet are apart, knees are open, and just swish your legs from one side to another. Swishy swish. And then what I want you to play with is when you get to one side, let's say you're leaning on your right hip, the left inner edge of your foot, I want you to push into so that your knee is actually starting to move away from your hip. Anchor your left shoulder down so it doesn't pull off the mat. And then let that go and switch sides. So rather than just laying there, I want you to be a little bit more integrated. Press on the inner edge, opening up that inner groin, inner psoas, lower belly. Good. And then release. And bring your knees to your chest. Give a little hug. And now go back to your strap here. If you have a loop, that's fine. If you don't have a loop, just loop it over. If you have a loop, you've got a tail. And so you can see what I'm doing with my tail. I'm going to take my arms back behind me. And if you don't have a tail, just use two hands on each side of your strap, trying to get your arms up along your ears like we were doing all class. Feet are straight up like we were doing in the beginning. Lower back is soft off the floor, so you're resting on your sacrum. Put a little tension through the strap so your arms are working a little bit and your legs are active. So think heels up, quadriceps engaged, arms are reaching, and this integrates the whole body, back line of the body, so that we're not just isolating, say, your hamstrings. We're working the whole back line all the way up through the arms. Take one more breath. And then as you exhale, you can slowly letting go of your feet to the floor. If you're stronger, you can let go of your strap altogether. And your feet go slow, 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 until they get to the floor. Good. Once they're on the floor, take your strap away, move it off to the side. We're going to move to Shavasana from here. So make sure everything's away from you so you're not touching anything with your hands or your legs. Feel free to put a bolster under your legs or a little support under your head, not a big one. Turning the palms open. And then just like we did in the beginning, close your eyes, take a nice deep breath, and let your body settle. The tongue is dropped down behind the lower teeth. The jaw is completely relaxed. The shoulders and the neck feel soft. And the body feels heavy. Begin to take a longer and deeper breath. And slowly starting to stretch and move, coming back to your body. As you feel ready, you can bend your knees and roll to your side. Take a breath or two there, and then make your way up to sitting. And once you're seated, let's take one more moment to pause. Become aware of the physical body, the energy, when we start to go upright. Without trying, without efforting, noticing the breath really dropping into the body. Let's bring the hands together at the heart. Ending the class, the practice with gratitude always for our time together on the mat, our deep body wisdom and guiding light. May our light always shine brightly, and may we always see the light in each other. Namaste. Thanks, Susan.